What most men get wrong about female sexuality is that they think that women are like men, okay? And that's just not the case. We are very different creatures when it comes to sex, when it comes to that female attraction and sexuality. So let's dive in and I'll explain how women are much different. Women are turned on, first of all, by dominance, which, in some rare kink cases, maybe a man is too. But we're talking generally speaking here, most women like a dominant man. They like him to be in control. They like him to be assertive in some areas. They like him to be aggressive. They like a guy to be a leader, right? They like these masculine traits that turn them on. So when it comes to sex and sexuality, they really want a man to be the guy who is leading them all the way to the bedroom, as well as leading them in the bedroom. One of the most common things that a woman will say that she likes in the bedroom when she's with a man is a guy who takes control, is a guy who is they'll say, is a man in the bedroom. Of course, they don't really know how to describe that exactly, but what they're saying is a guy who's taking control and is being assertive. Men don't really necessarily need that. Some do, some might like that, but again, we're generally speaking here. And so you have to understand that this is what makes it a lot different in terms of men and women. And it's not even just about sexual attraction, but it's also about what women respond to when there is a man that could be a potential mate for them. Okay? So it all ties together, not just in the bedroom, but before the bedroom. Just like the next one here. They need time and they need to be teased. Okay, so time and tease. What does that mean? That means that it takes longer for a woman to become sexually attracted to a man. Okay, now there is a little bit of a difference, which I'll go into a bit, but generally a woman has to feel some sort of trust. She has to feel safe with him, because she has a lot of risk. What's the risk? She can get pregnant. And men happen to be one of the most dangerous creatures to her, because a lot of women can get hurt by a man, okay? So women need that time in order to say, yes, I want to sleep with this person. I remember Mystery, old pickup artist, talked about this like 2 decades ago, and he said that women generally need about 7 hours to say, yes, I want to sleep with the guy. And I'm not backing that up, not saying it's like 100% true, like, yes, that's the number, 7 hours. But basically what he was talking about, and I do believe he was generally correct here, is that women need that time. They need a couple of dates. A lot of women even implement themselves the 3-date rule. How funny is that? Do you have a 3-date rule? I can only imagine how many men have a 3-date rule. Normally, they don't need that trust. Normally, they don't need that building of tension. If they find a woman attractive, they can be, boom, ready to go on the spot. And as long as, it seems like a normal situation, then boom, he's in. Let's dive deeper into the world of female sexuality, because women are very insecure about their bodies. They are. You see it everywhere. I've seen it anecdotally. Women are just in this society where we see them all the time on social media. We see them in magazines. We see them on TV. They see that and they think, wow, I have to be a woman who's going to be looking amazing like that all the time. Not only is it society, but it's also nature. Okay? So what I mean is, women are not dumb. They know what men are attracted to. They know that we're attracted to specific physical parts of their body. So when we combine just the inherent nature of what women know attracts a man, plus society, secretly and subconsciously telling them that they should have better bodies, when this is the case, it just adds insecurity, because they want to make sure that there's going to be a guy that's going to like them, that's going to be attracted to them. So why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because you have to understand how women are thinking most of the time. This is the reason why they're spending hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on makeup, because they want to look good. How much have you spent on makeup in your whole life? Probably a big whopping zero. Why? Because it's not necessarily all about looks. And for women, it really is, because you know that you're going to be going over and talking to that girl. Why? Because she's physically attractive, not because you think that she has a good personality. You're trying to find that out second. not first. You're swiping on women because of how attractive they are. Now, I know there's a big debate on the internet of, well, that's not true. No, women are always looking for looks. They just like men who are tall, who are good looking, who are rich. And yeah, they do say that. And you do see that. And women say all the time, I want to be with a tall guy and I like to look up to the guy that I'm with. But it's not necessarily what they say, but how they act and what they react to. And what they react to is a guy who has super charisma, super confident, who is well-dressed, looks his best, and is a guy who can, like I said earlier, be dominant and assertive, have those masculine characteristics. Next, I want to talk about something I learned in the book, The Evolution of Desire by Dr. David Buss, who's a evolutionary psychologist. He talks about short-term mating and he talks about long-term mating. And these are two different decisions that a woman is making in terms of who she should be with and who she should sleep with. So short-term mating is when a woman might go home with a guy for a night or sleep with him very fast, right? For example, a woman might sleep with a celebrity very fast. Now, us as guys, we'll sleep with any woman we find attractive. It doesn't have to be a celebrity, doesn't matter. But a woman's going to probably do it faster with a celebrity than maybe she'll do with a random Joe. But she also might sleep with a random Joe pretty fast too if he has super masculine looks. So yeah, I will agree with the internet here. Looks can matter, especially for some of that more short-term mating. When you're trying to hook up with someone fast, that is going to have a big effect. It's not everything, but it does have a large effect. When it comes to long-term mating, so getting into a relationship, getting a girlfriend, a woman saying that I want to be with this guy for longer term, it's not so much about looks anymore, and it's more about the resources he has. Right? So of course you might hear resources, you might hear, okay, wealth. Okay, so well, the guy has to be rich then. She's just going to go for a guy who's rich. And you'll even hear that, right? You'll hear that everywhere. Women like to be with a man who is rich. And so in this book, he explains that it's not so much about them literally being rich, but it's more about him possessing the masculine traits and the qualities that say that he is a person who can have resources. So those qualities will be, like I said earlier, dominant, assertive, a guy who's well socialized, right? He's good with people. He's super confident. He's a guy who just is very effective in society, can show he's effective. Just a guy who's with it, has a good personality, who's kind of funny. Like all of this says to her that this guy has the personality where he can be effective in society, where he can deal with people, he can deal with issues. That's why it is attractive when a man is not, super emotional all the time and crying, right? That's not very attractive to a woman because that might signal to her that, okay, he's so emotional that he's not able to make maybe rational decisions and be what? Effective in society. And I know that sounds like toxic masculinity, but let me tell you right now, it's not. It's the rules of the game and what makes a woman attracted. Next, as we explore this world, let's talk about the fact that women, they don't crave variety like men do. And this is where men get this wrong because they think that women do. I've worked with coaching clients in the past who we get them results. They start dating a woman. They instantly become insecure because they have this woman and they like her so much that they start to get jealous and needy because they're scared that she might leave. Okay? So what are they scared of? They're scared of this woman going out, sleeping with a bunch of guys, going on a ton of dates and just sleeping with a bunch of guys. And yes, some women will do that, but it's not in a woman's nature to be sleeping around with a lot of guys. It's more in a man's nature to do that. Women are not looking for variety. They're looking for stability. And when you understand that, you'll start to become less insecure about the woman you're dating all of a sudden just sleeping around with a bunch of guys. She's not necessarily looking to do that. I do have a video here on the screen that teaches you how to get intimate really fast with women and understanding exactly how to do that. And that goes into a little bit more about female nature. So check that out. And we're offering free strategy calls for guys who want to learn how to get to the point where they are being able to meet and attract the women they want. Go to tripadvicecoaching.com.